On Friday, December 7, 1973, the Ohio Department of Corrections made a decision that still haunts law enforcement agencies nearly half a century later. At the end of the day, the guards waited at the designated pickup spot. Why allowed a convicted murderer named Lester Eubanks to leave the Ohio State Penitentiary on an honor furlough to go Christmas shopping, under minimal supervision, in downtown Columbus? At the end of the day, the guards waited at the designated pickup spot. Eubanks never showed, and he has been on the run ever since. His disappearance is one of the longest active fugitive cases in United States history, and it began with a crime whose brutality continues to shock the community of Mansfield, Ohio. Mary Ellen Deener was a bright, outgoing 14-year-old 8th grader known for her love of choir and her strong church ties. On the evening of November 14, 1965, Mary Ellen and her sister were collecting coin rolls from the family-owned laundromat in Mansfield. When the change machine jammed, Mary Ellen set out, alone, toward a nearby laundromat to finish the task. Her body was found the next morning behind a local business. She had been shot twice and brutally bludgeoned. Within days, tips led Mansfield police to 22-year-old Lester Eubanks, a local factory worker with a history of sexual offenses. He confessed to attempting to assault Mary Ellen, then panicking and shooting her. When he realized she was still alive, he returned to the scene and beat her to death with a brick. In May 1966, a jury convicted Eubanks of first-degree murder and sentenced him to death. In 1972, however, the United States Supreme Court's ruling in Furman v. Georgia temporarily invalidated the death penalty nationwide. Ohio commuted Eubanks's sentence to life in prison with the possibility of parole, an act that set the stage for his audacious escape. By 1973, Eubanks had cultivated a reputation as a model inmate. He painted, took vocational classes, and seldom caused trouble. That December, the prison placed him on an honor program that allowed well-behaved prisoners supervised trips outside the walls. On December 7, he boarded a van with several inmates and 2 guards for a holiday shopping outing at Columbus's Great Southern Shopping Center. The rules were lax. Eubanks was told to meet the group in a few hours near the bowling alley. Instead, he slipped away, changed clothes, and vanished. Guards didn't sound the alarm for hours. By then Eubanks was likely far outside Columbus, armed with cash gifts from sympathetic church groups that had donated spending money to the prisoners. For the first few months, authorities believed Eubanks might still be in Ohio. Tips poured in, but none panned out. Some reports suggested he fled to Michigan or California, where extended family lived. In 1975, Deputy United States Marshals traced him to relatives in Los Angeles but arrived days too late. A year later, detectives thought they had him cornered in Dallas. Again he slipped away. Complicating matters, his prison file mistakenly listed him as merely absent without leave, rather than escaped, reducing the urgency of national alerts. By the time the error was fixed, leads were cold. For decades Eubanks's name surfaced only occasionally on wanted rolls. The break came in 2016, when the United States Marshals Service Cold Case Unit reopened the file. They learned that Eubanks had likely worked under the alias Victor Young at a waterbed store in Gardena, California, during the late 1980s and had been a janitor at St. Francis Hospital in Inglewood in the 1990s. Witnesses recalled him bragging about doing time for murder. Investigators also discovered that Eubanks, an avid ladies' man, might have fathered several children in the Los Angeles area. DNA from those potential relatives could someday confirm sightings and narrow his circle of contacts. In December 2020, the United States Marshals added Eubanks to their 15 Most Wanted list and doubled the reward to $50,000. A new age-progressed photo depicted him in his late 70s, with graying hair and a trimmed mustache. Tips suggested he might have relocated to the Detroit area, or even lived for a time in Alabama or Florida, working odd jobs that paid cash, and maintaining a low profile in African American neighborhoods. Born in 1943, Eubanks would be 80 this year. United States Marshals believe he's alive, possibly hiding under a new identity in California, Florida, Georgia, or Michigan. They stress that older fugitives sometimes confess late in life or surface when seeking medical care. Share the age-progressed images on social media. Report any sightings of individuals resembling Lester Eubanks. Tips can remain anonymous. Encourage genealogy testing among communities where he was rumored to live. Familial DNA has cracked numerous cold cases.